Hey kids, it's Ellie. Welcome back to my channel and welcome back to another video. So of course, the giant coffee mug is making a reappearance. Nothing quite like a nice cup of joe, am I right? Am I addicted to caffeine? Yes. Anyways, I thought it would be a great day to sit down and share with you guys the top 10 things I learned through my time as a distance runner in the NCAA. You guys seem to have liked my motivational speech that I gave in my last video, so I thought why not share some more advice, some tips, some tricks, just what I've learned when I was running Division I cross country and track. So with that, let's get into the video. Number 1, running is fun if you let it be. Cross country and track are two of the hardest sports, if not the hardest sports, at least that I've ever done. It is easy for running to feel like a chore, for it to always feel like a challenge, but it can be fun, like I said, if you let it be. There are so many fun aspects of the sport that people neglect because they're too caught up in their performance and their results, their times on the track, on the cross-country course. There are so many more aspects of running than just performance. There are your teammates, there are lifelong friendships that can be made if you're willing to put in the time and effort to become friends with those people. There's fun in every challenge. Even during hard workouts, I always think about, how am I enjoying this right now? Or why is this gonna benefit me? Why am I doing this? What is the pleasure I'm getting out of this pain? I guess there's always something positive that comes out of every challenge with running, and that's what makes the sport fun. I know myself, even during my senior year, I was getting too caught up in my identity as a runner, and I was making decisions based off my running and what was best for that, which is fine to some extent, but when you're neglecting your friends, when you're not hanging out with people, when you're sitting in your room just thinking about running all the time, that's when it gets a little unhealthy. This is advice I give to myself too, but runners need to lighten up. The sport is not that serious. You're running around in a circle. Number 2, fake it until you make it. I know that sounds a little weird, but honestly, without self-confidence, you will not perform to your best ability on the track or on the cross-country course or in a triathlon or in any sport or performance. Mental is just as important as the physical, if not more important. I performed so much better my senior year, not only because I trained harder and put in more miles, but because I was so much more self-confident. When I was towing the line, doubting myself, I did so much worse than when I towed the line during the final track season of my senior year, confident that I could stay with the top girls and confident in my training, trusting in my training. I envisioned where I wanted to finish, and that's where I started the race. I didn't immediately go to the back of the pack like I would during my first 3 years of college. I went to the front and I told myself, this is where you belong. This is what you've trained for. You put in the hard work. You've done hard workouts at this pace. You can do it. Of course, I set realistic expectations. I wasn't just not training and then towing the line like I'm gonna win this race right now. But I knew where I wanted to finish. I knew what I was capable of based off my training and what my coach thought I was capable of. And that's why I started the race, and that's what I thought about the entire race. This is where you're supposed to be. Let's go. Number 3, have a life outside of running. This is so important because there may be times when you get injured, or there may come a day when you just can't run for some other reason. I know I'm so much happier when I have other things that I can do besides just work out. Like, I love to cook, so I spend a lot of time in the kitchen. I also really like art, so I like painting, writing, reading. Find a hobby that's not sport related, something that could be a creative outlet for you outside of sport. I think that is so helpful and honestly necessary, because thinking about running all the time is exhausting. When you have something outside of running to think about, or when you can just stop thinking about running for a little bit, that is so healing for the mind. Number 4, managing stress. Wake Forest was an extremely stressful place for me, especially during my sophomore and junior years. That's when I had some of my hardest classes. When you're in college, you have to realize that you're there not only to run, but also to get a degree. That is the main reason why you're getting an education, so you can get a degree and probably get a job after you're done with school. In order to manage your stress, you're gonna have to manage your time and set priorities. Sometimes running will have to be put on the back burner. During finals weeks and critical weeks like that in school, you can't be solely focused on running and choose running over school. Know when running has to take a backseat, and when you have to really focus on your studies and put in the time to get your homework done and get an A on those papers. Love school. Number 5, training is personal. This is one of the biggest things I've learned. One type of training does not work for everyone. Some people are lucky and the first type of training program they get into works for them. But other people, like me, it takes years to find exactly what type of mileage I need to be doing and what type of strength training I need to be doing to perform or to run my fastest. You can't just expect to be fast right off the bat with the first type of training program that comes your way. Maybe your teammate is running higher mileage than you. That does not mean that that's what you need to do. Maybe your body needs lower mileage because you're more prone to injury, or maybe you need to incorporate cross-training alongside running because that helps you. There are so many different ways you can go. So talk to your coach, reach out to people like me, reach out to former distance runners or other runners that you know, see what they're doing. And it just takes time. You gotta be patient. Number 6, do not compare yourself to others. Oh my gosh. Everybody's mind and body is different. And I know in the NCAA, when it comes to Division I distance running, girls especially love to compare themselves to other girls. When it comes to appearance and body image, there's way too much comparison going on. Everybody is born with a different body type. Maybe running just naturally attracts leaner people, but that does not mean that you have to look like a stick to run fast, because hard work is so much more important than physical appearance, let me tell you. Number 7, listening to your body is crucial in this sport. This one speaks very true to me because I know when I had knee injuries, I was not listening to my body. I thought that I could keep running through these little nicks and pains. Not a good idea. If your body hurts in any way or in any place when you're running, you should not be running. It is just not worth it. Yeah, maybe your injury won't get worse if you run on it. I know that's what some people told me when I had a knee problem. Oh, you can keep running. You're not going to get any more injured. It's not going to get worse. It's just going to hurt a little bit. If something hurts, don't run. Taking a couple days off is way less detrimental to your running performance than having to take 6 to 8 weeks off. Number 8, nutrition matters. Ooh, nutrition when it comes to distance running. This is a topic that I could talk about forever. Honestly, I can make a whole video on this, but I'm just gonna keep it very brief in this video. Nutrition matters, but it's also so personal. What one body needs is not what another body needs. You have to find what works for you. Of course, eating healthy, eating whole foods in abundance is the best thing that you can do for your body, but because your teammate is eating a huge salad for dinner, that does not mean that you also have to eat a huge salad for dinner. I did notice a significant difference when I started eating healthier whole foods than when I was eating country fried steak every day at the dining hall my freshman year. I ran a lot faster and started just feeling a lot better and more energized when I started eating healthier foods. So eating healthy whole foods is important, but that does not mean that you have to eat exactly what your teammate's eating to run fast or look a certain way. That is so false. I know it's taken me a while to figure out exactly the type of nutrition plan that I need to run my fastest and now swim and bike my fastest as well, especially when you're living on your own and cooking for yourself. You know, it's not easy to figure out exactly what your body needs, what you feel best on. For me, when I moved out of the dorms and started living on my own my senior year, it took me a while to figure out the proper nutrition for myself. There are definitely times when I wasn't eating enough or when I felt like I was eating too much. And, you know, cooking is hard. It's a hard thing to learn. If you stick to whole foods and if you eat intuitively, eat when you're hungry, stop when you're full, you will be fine. Just remember that everybody's body is different. What your body needs or looks like to perform its best is not what your teammate's body is going to look like or need to perform its best. Just please remember that. Like I said, I could talk about nutrition forever and weight and everything that has to do with that in another video. It's just, yeah, I could go on for a long time about nutrition when it comes to distance running. Number 9, patience is a virtue when it comes to this sport. Some people peak early on. They are fast from the get-go. That's just how it is. While other people need to put in a lot of miles over several years to get good. That's okay. Try your best to stick with running if you truly love it, even if you're going through a rough patch mentally or if you're dealing with an injury. Of course, if your injury is super serious, that's different, but if you have an injury that's gone on for a few weeks, or if you're just going through a mental block when it comes to running. Now, let me tell you about mental blocks. I have gone through my fair share of them, especially in high school. Just every race I would bomb for some reason, and I knew it wasn't physical. So I've been there, but be patient. Oftentimes, things get rough before they get better. I had so many ups and downs my first 3 years of college. I had injuries. I had times when mentally I wasn't there when I was trying to perform. Trust me when I say that it is worth it if you really are passionate about running and if you really do want to reach a high level in the sport. And number 10, consistency is key to getting faster. Putting in quality work over time is 100% what got me to nationals my senior year. It was not going to practice every day and killing myself, wrecking my body every hard workout. It was just putting in high quality sessions. It didn't have to be a killer workout or the most successful workout in my entire life. It just had to be quality. And try my best to stay injury free, stay healthy, eat right, do the little things every day. I didn't expect to get faster right away once I started doing higher mileage or different types of workouts than I had done my first 3 years of college. I just came to practice every day, ready to give it my best, and excited for the challenge ahead. I was just thinking that I wanted to be the best runner I could be while also staying in a balanced state of mind and knowing that running wasn't my whole life and it was okay if I didn't have the best workout on the day. And that was definitely a mental adjustment from my first 3 years. I thought every hard workout had to be the hardest workout of my life. Once I started realizing that I just had to have a quality session and not worry if I wasn't PRing in every single session, that's when I started doing a lot better and when I started feeling better mentally and physically. If you're a freshman or a sophomore, even a junior, don't place such high expectations on yourself. When you're in a new place, when you're around new people, when you're going through a different type of training program than you've gone through before, your body and your mind are going to take a long time to adjust. That's okay. You have time on your side and running is there for life. You will be fine. Alright guys, so that's it for me today. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you stuck all the way through the end, I really appreciate it. Leave a comment below telling me what your favorite tip was or if you got anything valuable out of this video. I would love to hear your thoughts and I will see you guys in my next video. I'm gonna finish my coffee now. I've actually only had like 2 sips. Bye kids.